Hi, everybody. Say hello, Cecil. No, Cecil won't say hello. Amy, if you're trying to get in, just try again. Hello, everybody. Right now it's just me and the birds. I believe that Amy's trying to get in, but I had to set things up in here a little different because I wasn't sure if we were going to have any moderators today. So you may want to hold your questions until the end. I'm going to repeat that a couple of times because I won't be able to see questions. If Amy comes in, she can read your questions to me, but she's been traveling, so. And then Eleanor is busy. She's got a lot of work. They dumped a lot of work on her, so you can see the birds are kind of sleepy today. It is an important subject, though. A bird's skin. Hold on a second. I got to try to get Amy in here. Hello.
Hello. I hope you are still spotlighted and the people don't have to see my dumb face.
Yeah, I have everything on Spotlight. I'm running my iPad and the computer. So,
Oh,
yes,
that's
I knew you
fabulous.
were.
I also have no idea how long it stays since I on mobile internet so far. Um, yeah, try my best to support you.
Yeah, well, thank you. And if you, for some reason, you get cut off, I still have things set up so I can switch to. I have a camera now directly over me, so I can switch that on if I need to see what people are writing. But thank you for coming on. I hope you're not bringing back any bugs or rats or anything from where you've been. But
No, just a sweet little salamander on our terrace this afternoon.
oh, yeah. What are you doing down there, big boy? Just looking at me awful funny today. What's the deal? Huh? What's the deal?
And maybe I don't know if it filters it out, but in the background you might hear the church uh clocks.
Oh, we don't worry about that. Some of the podcasters I listen to walk around outside while they're podcasting, so you get used to
Mhm.
these ambient sounds. Yeah, right? Cecil? Like
You
Cecil?
guys look good.
Yeah, that's a cute little wiggle. What are you doing down there?
That's really sweet. Oh, I missed the
Lorelai.
vlog. Missed you so much.
What are you doing, Lorelai? I didn't have time to get the wood up from yesterday, so I got to get the carpets in here outside. I have to do that early in the morning now so that the sun can bake them and they'll be dry by the end of the day.
Mm.
I'll do
Sugar
that
looks really
tomorrow.
comfortable.
Yeah, she was pretty well. She was running around on the bottom of her cage most of this morning playing, but
Mm,
now she's got her foot up. So
so busy. Lots of sweetie pies, and actually, I couldn't watch the videos you posted. I just saw the notification, but I saw there is a Jasmine Flappy video up too, which I really love to see when it's time after the live stream, probably.
yeah, I started doing the shorts again, and I'm just capturing good moments, and then from the day and putting them up. So
You
that
know, the
was her.
people love the short. And at the moment, it looks like YouTube is distributing them at least.
Yeah, you never know for sure because
Yeah.
when they first go up,
So,
it'll say
guys, you
something like
actually can help with the algorithm distributing it because I have the feeling if one shares the video with someone else over social platforms like your like WhatsApp or whatever you use equivalent or something like that. So just by that, you basically can help push the video. So if anybody there, I'm not in the chat today. I'm just watching the video from Zoom. I was in the chat
well,
and then I left because I cannot have both on my phone. At least I'm
at
not
the
sure if
same.
I can have both. I don't think so.
Yeah, you never know about the multitasking. Well, the reason to say I'm not sure is because when you first put them up there, say the first half hour, it'll say you had maybe 20 people who looked at it, but you have 56 thumbs up.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
know
not,
that.
yeah. It's a dead giveaway that they're not telling you everything. But hey, you want to be petted, I know, but that's an irritate. Come here, come here. There's got to be a better way than whacking me with your beak. He wants to get petted, whacking me with his beak. Yeah, I know it works. I know it works, but there's other ways, little boy. He just wants to be petted. Silly bird. You cuteness. That's a Cecil bird. We have Cecil with us today, and KK, who's busy down here making toothpicks,
The,
and Sugar Bird, and
the needy,
Lorelei,
the needy superorganism umbrella cockatoos.
and lovely Lucy Pretty Bird,
And
Snowball,
there's
and
Snowball.
way in the back, the
Yeah,
number one flapper back there. She's just hiding, sleeping.
she's the flappy queen.
I've moved the other camera now, and it seems to work better where I have it. So
Let's see.
I didn't take the. You could still see where it was mounted up there, but
Oh, actually, oh, look at that. I think I can have both. I can see the chat and I can see what you guys are doing. So in the chat, we have some chatters. We have Spirit Matter who says, "Hi, parrot people." Then we have Falcon here who says, "Happy Monday, everyone and everybody." And then we have Sunderbing. Yeah, I think
oh,
that's the way it's pronounced. Who says, "Good afternoon. Are you guys located in Germany?" No, the Chloe Sanctuary is located in the US,
Mojave, in the
Nevada,
Mojave Desert, in the Mojave Desert. Yeah,
cornered between Las Vegas, Area 51, and the Death Valley.
we have our own area 51 here. It's mostly birds. Yeah,
Hello and welcome everybody. I think today I won't tip every name since it's hard to do with my phone. So I greet you verbally. I hope you guys don't mind. So the next chatter is here. It's Jam and Jamie. So hello, Jamin. Good
hello.
to see you here.
Hello. We're going to talk about skin today because what may look like a minor injury to you could be a major problem with a bird. So hey, you two, Lucy, you don't have to be that protective. Lucy, doesn't matter what I say to her. I've got her attention, the tone of voice. Lucy,
Mhm.
that's Lorelei. If she wants to come up there, Lorelei's, no, I'm not doing it. Lucy's being a pain. I'll go some other way. Now, if you wonder why they call him a hook bill, just watch her get around with that bill. They use it as a hook. They hook onto things with it. There she goes. One of these days, we're going to teach. Well, I'm not sure we should teach you to fly, but you probably should. You should know how to fly on your own, not just when you're scared. KK, what's going on down there? Hmm? He's in what we call companion mode. He just has to be next to me chewing wood. What's that look? She says, "Oh, I'm awake. My foot's up. I don't think he'll pet me." That's kind of the meh. He's waiting for me to give a signal that I'll pet her. At the beak. You want up, Lorelei? All right. All right. There's the elevator. You've got wings. Yeah, but I'm too lazy. I'm not going to leave my leg out. You guys know that doesn't. I don't leave it out forever. You're not going to do that, Lorelai. Stay away from him. We don't want Cecil getting the wrong idea, do we? No,
Oh,
we
it looks
don't.
like
It'd be,
Thunderbing is a fan of Snowball. He says he's beautiful. And do you bring Snowball down off? Uh, that's probably off the perch, off the perch. Uh, I don't think so. We let him sit or allow him to sit there as long as he likes.
he,
But
yeah, he
maybe we
came.
can zoom a little bit or
Yeah,
call him over.
Snowball, Snowball, what you doing? You want to come over here, Snowball? I'm patting my leg. You want to come over here? That's not you. Come over, Lorelai. You can come over, but I just ordered him some more frisbees. I realized that he's worn out the ones that have the little ridges on them. It's supposed to make it so you can grip them better when you throw them, but he likes to run his foot across them and make noise. So I ordered 8 more of those.
Yeah, we
Oh,
maybe we can get Snowball to move when we throw frisbee or so, but that also can
yeah,
backfire and we get some other birds to to move and do stuff.
yeah.
Snowball, sweetie pie.
I've got it. Hold on. I've got it slightly, slightly. Lorelai, I just want. Oh, that's too chewed up for you to be too interested in it, huh? Oh, there he goes. Snowball. He's a wonderful bird. He loves to be held, but he doesn't like other birds around
Mhm.
while he's being hugged. He is a good
So let's
example how you everything can be going right, and then all of a sudden they'll start chewing their feathers. So he's started chewing his left leg feathers off, and I had to. So he's always been on a tiny amount of medicine, but I had to up him to Lorelai's level to get him to stop. I didn't just immediately do that. I went up 2 and then point 2, actually 0.02, 0.02, and then he got all the way up to 0.15. Now he's not chewing on his no good reason for it. There never is. We can almost never figure it out. Sometimes you'll know what the cue is. We know what the cause is, of course. The cause is breeding them in captivity. Captivity.
mhm. So
But he's a great bird. He's a great
let's
bird. He's always
welcome Calvin
go ahead.
Thurston and Buktia Shar, and let's thank Thunderbing for donating $5. So thank you very much for that. Much
Well, thank you so much.
appreciated.
Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. What are you guys doing down there? What are you guys doing? I know. Give me the
Oh,
innocent look. We're just innocent down here. Just ignore us. We're not really there.
is that Lorelai and Cecil or Lorelai or Cecil and KK?
Yeah, it's Lorelai and Cecil. Kate, hey, KK, that's not a good place to go. What are you doing? Don't go behind me. You'll get squished. You'll get squished. KK bird. What a bird. What a bird. Yeah, we're going to talk about their skin, and I'm going to use my notes because well, I know this stuff, but I need to make sure I cover it in detail. So bear with me. You're going to get a slightly smaller picture when I do this. Oh, come on. I hit the notes and it didn't wipe everything out on my screen but the notes. I'm supposed to get at least a half screen. There we are. Snowball. I'm going to try throwing a frisbee. Lorelai. She's gets a little overstimulated when she sees a frisbee, so she bit my ankle. Achilles heel,
Oh, oh,
actually.
oh, oh.
Ah, yeah, she didn't bite that hard, but Snowball, you
Oh,
interested?
there we get. Do you see Thunderbang? We got the snowball activated by the frisbee.
Got my right Achilles tendon activated too. Laura, let's see. She gets just a little too when I've got a frisbee. All right.
And we got another bird activated, the Lorelei.
Ah, Lorelei, net.
Did she catch it? Oh, there. He got it. What a good boy. And he's so proud of it.
Oh, now you're gonna do some variations on the theme, side to side.
Whoop. There goes the frisbee. And now Lorelei has the frisbee.
Yep.
Now she's a frisbee girl, and Cecil looks not so
Whoop.
convinced about it.
He's gonna get me again.
Spirit says, frisbee.
He'll play this
Frisbee
game for
action.
hours. You can
Lots of
play.
live action today.
You can get hours of play from him that way. But if you say "ouch" once when he gets close to you, he will stop playing. He thinks you're hurt. He hurts you. He won't play anymore. Right, big boy?
The big boy. Yeah, Calvin, I also think that's super cool. Just the way he catches the frisbee, that's absolutely amazing.
So he started out with the plastic lids off of jars. That's how he started. And he worked his way up to medium-sized frisbees all the way up to large ones. But see, now he's got the one with a ridge on it, and he's moving his nail across the ridge to make noise. He likes to do that. He's an athletic boy, aren't you? There you go. Shake, rattle, and roll, huh? He's got two nails under it and two nails on top. That's how he's holding it. And of course, they can only move their toes together. They can't move them apart. They're opposable, so they can pick things up, but they can't wiggle their toes. And not too many humans can wiggle their toes either. Although I did have a stepdaughter in one of my failed marriages who she dropped something, she picked it up with her toes. I used to call her a prehensile. This is my prehensile toed daughter. Mm. Oh, you had to find something, didn't you? A lid to beat me up with? Okay. All right, let's see if I can get the notes to show up again. I tried the written notes. That obviously doesn't work here. What you doing, Snowball? Yeah, the issue with their skin, the one that you need to remember, and since I know people, not so much the people who are in here, but someone who watches this later, the average amount of time someone will watch a longer video is about 6 minutes. So the main thing I want to say is if you have any bleeding from a cut on the skin, that kind of thing, you need to take your bird into the avian vet. You need to immediately put something on there as like Superclot, which is probably the best thing out there because it will not only stop the bleeding, it also has a disinfectant in it and a painkiller, so they won't mess with the wound. That's something I wanted to say up front because when we talk about the whys and wherefores, there's a lot of people who will just say, okay, I've done my 6 minutes and I'll move on. So Actually, some will do 3, some will do 12, but to do the whole video is a rare thing. Right, Snowball? Yeah, I know. He tosses it like that to get my attention. Don't you? You love to play with frisbees, I know. An extra half-hour a day. Lorelai, be nice. He gets like this with him when he's playing with frisbees. Lorelai. Bonk. Lorelai.
The
Bonk.
Miss Crest
He's
up
a
is Miss Lorelei. Uh,
Lorelai. I'm talking to you.
that's the thing with cockatoos. They have so much attitude.
This might get her attention. Be nice to Snowball. He's just playing. Lorelai. Well, now we've got a triumvirate here.
Mm. Oh, Cecil, you're such a good bird.
Yeah, he's gonna calm her down now.
Yeah.
So their skin isn't like ours. You know, we're talking about skin that's only 3 layers deep. Ours is 7. In some parts of the skin, there may only be 3 to 4 cells between. Hey, hey, hey! That's my foot, you big toad. Step up. Come on, get up here. Monster, monster bird. That's who you are, monster. And once something breaks through that skin, you're chewing on the zipper on my pocket. Hold on a minute. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna lose my notes because it turned sideways. That's somebody at Zoom needs to fix that. It's ridiculous. You can't keep your notes up. Just want to make sure I cover everything today, and I gotta open them up again. Yes. Okay. And actually, most of this I'm just doing from memory, but I just like to have the notes there to make sure that I cover everything. Um,
Mm.
so because their skin is thin, if you bust into the skin, then it gets into the bloodstream and it can circulate. So if there's all kinds of bugs and stuff in our environment. We're mammals. We carry a lot of nasty stuff with us, like E. coli is an example, which is common with humans. It doesn't exist in their system. You take E. coli out of your gut, you'll be dead. It'll kill you. You have to have E. coli in your gut. They can't have it. They don't use it in their digestion. So, but that skin may look tough, but it's pretty thin. So once he gets busted, if you see any bleeding, first thing you have to do is get disinfectant, stop the bleeding. So that's why I suggest super clot. Obviously, we're not making any money by saying that. Yeah. That's the only brand that has the ability to stop bleeding and disinfect and kill the pain. That's lidocaine. That's recommended by Dr. Burkett, who's an avian vet on the East Coast. And he has a great video on first aid. He makes a point of saying in the beginning of the first aid video that this is first aid. This isn't meant to keep you from going to your veterinarian. It's meant to be first aid before you go. Stop it now. You need to stop that. It's so thin that if he puts it up against my arm, he'll try to grab onto it, get a better hold onto it. And when he gets the better hold onto it, my arm is usually in there. I know how that works. I know how it works. I do. You don't mean to bite me. Lorelai meant to. She meant to. She was warning me away from the evil frisbee. That
By the way, where's
was a
Lucy?
warning. Loose bird.
Oh, she's the only one not sitting on you.
Yeah. Well, there's
Or at
the
least
typical
annoying. Yeah,
only umbrella that isn't right around me. Yeah.
yeah. That actually that's what I meant. The pink ones, the Moluccans, are usually known for keeping their distance with really everybody, human, other birds, especially other Moluccans.
Yeah. They have a larger territorial boundary around them. I don't think the umbrellas have any with me anyway. But so we've got fairly thick skin until you get to be my age. When you bump into things, you bleed. But we have a fairly thick skin that's a little difficult to bust through their skin under the chest area, that kind of thing. If they lose feathers, it becomes those become danger areas because once the feathers are gone, that's part of their protection. So once that's gone, you gotta watch them close. Lucy can't grow the feathers on her chest, so I have to watch her closely. Laura, what are you doing down there? Going to sleep now. Where's Snowball? Oh, there. He's still in the same spot. Snowball, what are you doing? Well, come on, Lorelai, if you want to come up. Now, one of the things that mammals have that most mammals have that they don't have is fur, which is dense and it's hard to penetrate. They don't have that. They have the feathers only. Okay? And so that's another layer of against physical damage that they don't have. And their skin has muscles around the feathers, so they can. You've seen how they move their feathers around, especially when they rouse, all their feathers come out. But they can stick the feathers or pretty much anywhere around their body. They can stick them out. Um, with the tail feathers, it's mostly fanning, but the other feathers will go. They can go up, down in different positions. It's pretty bizarre. But their skin, their muscles are pretty close to the surface of the skin to do that. So that's why one of the reasons the skin is so thin. So when you pierce this, hi, the snowball. He's going after the frisbee again. We got him started, Zane. Um, when you pierce the skin, the risk of infection is pretty darn high, and the problem is that pathogens from the environment, and even though, like in here, where you see all the wood, I didn't get to clean it up yesterday, but because I had to reposition the camera and get other things I had to do. You can't go. You have to do the vacuuming because otherwise the dust gets in the air from walking around, and then you have to clean the filters, et cetera, et cetera. There's a whole bunch of things to keep the place clean, but um, I got a major cleaning to do here tomorrow. We got to get these carpets outside. I spot clean them, but now they need to go outside. They need to get washed in the washing machine and be put outside. So, then their skin is thin, so when an infection, if something gets on that skin where it's punctured, it gets into the system pretty easy. And then these guys, if it gets into it can get into their air ducts, which include their bones and that kind of thing. So you can spread the infection to their lungs pretty quickly. So if an infection gets in there, it can cause a thing with them called septicemia, which is difficult to deal with. Which is why if your bird has been bleeding profusely from some wound, and not even profusely, just a little bit from some wound, that could lead to septicemia, which is a life-threatening condition. And it's a life-threatening condition for you right now if you keep hitting me in the ears with that. But he believes it. You don't believe that, do you? No, you don't believe anything I say, do you? Now, once they do get an infection from a wound or in other cases, they have trouble regulating their temperature. They use their feathers to some degree for that, but they don't have some of the temperature regulation we have. So if you get them to the vet when they and they get some kind of antibiotic to deal with it if we know the particular pathogen. They may need to be put into a special cage where the temperature is regulated. Usually it's a plexiglass cage, and where they can keep the temperature up so the bird doesn't have to regulate its own temperature. They do that too in intensive care, keeping the temperature up so that it's around the temperature of the human body. In this case, these guys will run a little hotter, so a vet will do that and keep them in a nice warm area so they don't have to struggle to regulate their own temperature.
Heated purchase. I'm just joking, guys. That was a serious request from Don. That is probably a birdie incubator. Are there such things specially made for birds, or do you have to install one yourself?
You have to, yeah, you pretty much have to build it yourself. It's
Okay.
9 times out of 10, it's like a plexiglass fish tank, and then you have to put something in there to heat it. I mean, there are ways you can. I have something like that to regulate the temperature of the medicine they have. It turns on a little heater, and then it turns it off, and then there's something also to cool it down, a piezoelectric. So you need something like that to regulate the temperature. You don't want it too hot. You don't want it, so cold that bodies have to work. Then you have to put towels in there for them, and you have to change the towel frequently because they poop about every 20 minutes. Depending on whether and if they're have an infection, what they're pooping is not going to be good to be in their environment. So that's a lot of extra work, which the vets have technicians to do, but it's just you. So, yeah, the little hospital cage is something that you have to put together yourself. Isn't too tough to do actually, but the other solution is just like where I live, you could just let the temperature go up in the house a bit. So that's no problem where I live here. So now they actually have about the same volume per ounce or milliliter in their body as mammals do. The problem is because they're so small, that doesn't amount to much blood. So what may look to you like not much of a blood loss is probably worse than it looks. So I just heard recently someone described it as a lot of blood. And this is the person who doesn't know birds, just was watching something online about another bird. And if it looks like a lot of blood to you, and you guys don't need to be doing this down here. Now, if it looks like a lot of blood to somebody who is not used to birds, well, it's way too much blood, and that bird needs to go to the vet right away. Probably be put in a cage for a couple of days to keep where the temperature is regulated. So a parrot's blood is roughly amounts to about 10% of its body weight. But they don't weigh much. I was talking to someone just recently, and they said, "Oh, they saw this big multicolored bird." It was, of course, a macaw. People are just attracted to multicolors. But I said, "Do you have any idea how much that bird weighs?" He said, "Oh, I guess about 12 pounds, or 3 pounds is about average for a macaw." So you figure if 10% of that weight is blood, that's not much. So a small amount of blood loss can be significant. They have a small amount. Well, they have like various places that they make blood in their body. They even use their kidneys to make blood, and the blood can replicate itself. But so it takes them about the same amount of time to replace blood. But the issue is that it's not. There's so little of it in their bodies that if you see what looks like a lot of blood loss, and you're you definitely need to get them into a situation where they're kept overnight. And you need to tell the blood, take a picture of it, take it to the vet, so the vet can look at it and, just look at the picture and see how much blood was lost. That's important too. Sugar, I touched your tail.
Oh,
Yeah, she
Shuggy.
doesn't believe
Shuggy.
she does she doesn't believe it though. She's not gonna pet me. He's got that phone in his
Uh,
hand. She
so we
knows
have a
better.
question by Thunderbing, but it isn't about the topic. It's about how you started your journey caring for the birds.
I think it's fairly common. You end up, someone has a bird that they need to get rid of for some reason, which is what happened to Chloe. And then you bring him into your life, and then within a few months, you realize that you've got a highly intelligent animal people don't really understand in your care, and then from there you start trying to do more for them. That's what happened to Stuart Metz, who founded the Indonesian Parrot Project. He got a Moluccan cockatoo, and then he gave up his medical practice, which was actually at a university, Harvard, in fact. And he went to Indonesia and started trying to save them in the wild. Because in captivity, they can't be what they are. And they're raised by humans. They don't even get to know their parents. They learned early on. Well, when they learned how to breed these guys, the only way they could do it was take the eggs from the parents and put them in an incubator. And if the parents would break the eggs, you probably wouldn't want to raise kids in captivity either. So that's how it started. And then little by little, more and more birds. Right, Seesaw? Mm-hmm. Now, if there's a lot of blood loss, it can lead to shock, which in a bird, when people go into shock, like they see a horrible incident or something, that it's the same kind of shock, except that with these guys, if they go into shock, it can actually kill them. So you may have a bird that gets a small wound. I had that situation. Bird had a small wound on its foot, had a little loss of blood, um, went through shock, and she's gone now. And nothing could really save her because of the amount of blood that was lost. But she was on Haldol and she attacked her foot. So that small wound caused irritation, and then bird can also go after that too, which is why I like Superclot, because it numbs the area, and the chances of the bird chewing on it are a lot smaller. So you have a bird that gets an injury, it's lost some blood, you take it to you put Superclot on it. I would recommend, because again, it has a disinfectant. Take them to the vet. The vet will probably want to give an antibiotic just as a preventative. We don't do that much with humans anymore. But with birds, it's a little different, right, Cecil? With birds, it's a little different. So, and if according to the picture you provide of how much blood was lost, the vet determines they should be in a medical cage, then that's where they go. They're in that cage. It's optimal temperature. They're not going to go into hypothermia, which they can do, because if they lose enough blood, the shock can cause their whole body to shut down and their temperature regulation goes down. And then, if they're at the vet for a couple of days, while you're figuring out how you're gonna finance it, because it isn't cheap, but while they're in there, they're being observed to make sure that they're not exhibiting any of these signs of shock or hypothermia, or they're still eating normally. They're monitoring how much they eat and how much they were pooping, and all that's being watched. So a few days, and you can be. Well, that could mean the difference between life and death for one of these guys. So that way they can make sure the infection's going away and then not dehydrating, which is really bad for birds to dehydrate. See, that's the thing to watch. If after you've had a minor injury and maybe there wasn't even any blood, but a feather came out and you can see where the skin is irritated where it came out. You put something on it, you keep an eye on it, and then you notice your bird isn't eating right. You're weighing your bird. Your bird's lost 5% of their weight. Next day it's down to 10%. Off to the vet you go. Even if it was just a minor thing that there wasn't any blood, but you saw that skin had been irritated. Just for the next couple of days, keep an eye on that weight and look at their poop to make sure it's normal. Normal over a day, okay? Don't look at morning poop and assume that's the way it's going to be all day long, because it does change. But that's the basic overview. So, am I messing with your tail? So that's something you don't want to do with most birds. He has made it to her. It isn't going to cause any problems. If I pet him a little bit somewhere that you normally shouldn't, you pet him on the heads. But he's made it to Lorelei. They're sitting next to each other. It's not going to really do anything if I don't overdo it. This one down here, I wouldn't want to do that with. He's not mated to anybody, although he likes to sit in companion positions, don't you, KK? Snowball, what are you doing over there with that frisbee? Ow! Got stuck with a piece of wood. That never happens. In my shoes, in my pockets, in my hair. Oh, you do that, do you? Laurel fly. You guys. Snowball. No ball. Nice, Cecil. What? What? What, Cecil? What? No ball. Frisbee? 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 He knows the word. He's sitting right next to it. Frisbee? And he puts his head on it. You got a frisbee? Frisbee? Hi, Snowball.
What a sweetie pie.
Snowbird. Snowbird. Snowball.
A little bit umbrella madness. They overtake as soon as the Triton's out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to when the weather gets better and I can get him outside. Although I'm going to have to scrub that aviary down because they had to spray for crickets. We had an invasion of crickets you wouldn't believe. So now I have to scrub that whole area down. But it looks like a cricket graveyard outside. Snowball. Oh, Lorelei. Yeah, I called Snowball, so you have to get all fired up, right? Snowball and the frisbee.
Uh-huh.
Snowball. Nesting behavior. KK, what's up, KK? What's up, KK? Hmm? All right. Elevator down. Oh, what a look. Snowball. You're between two frisbees over there. Yep. Snowball. Snowball. Snowbird. What's doing, Snowball? What's doing? What's doing? Whittlebird? Are you a Whittlebird?
Is he a widowbird?
He thinks he's a Whittlebird because he says Whittlebird. Whittlebird? Is that how you say little bird? Whittlebird?
Probably. I don't know. It sounds a bit like. Or it often comes up when we talk to him about little birds. Maybe l is a little bit difficult for him. So it's become a v.
Or someone thought it was cute when he was learning to say it and started repeating it to him that way. That happens too. Lorelei can say Lorelei. He can say the L, but he might just have a problem saying L's. What you doing over there? Snowball. Snowball. Sea salt. Sea salt. I know. I'll pet you as soon as I can. She's aware of that. I'll preen now. I can't believe we actually have that on video now where she says, hi.
Ah,
He doesn't say it that often, but he does
the
say it.
sugar revealing she actually can speak English. She's probably also
Hi.
understanding it pretty well. Just the word no makes no sense for her.
No, she doesn't believe in that word.
That's for
Actually,
all
not.
cockatoos. That's like what what are you saying? For them it's kind of yes with other means.
Whittlebird. What's doing, Snowball? What's doing? Snow, bird, snow, bird, snow, bird. Frisbee, frisbee, hop. Frisbee? I don't have one. You have them. There's one under the cage over there. There's one under the perch. There's two around the other perch. Whittlebird. Snowball. Snowball. In the morning when he gets his medication, he comes out and wants to be hugged for a while. Don't forget to hug him. It's about is with him, it just makes him sad. With this one over there, if I don't hug her before she leaves, I have to hold her for about 15 minutes. Everybody else comes out, she has to get held for 15 minutes, so she has a fit. She won't go back into her cage. She'll put her wings out. She'll no, this is wrong. This You're gonna
What
hold me
one
and you're
time
gonna,
you actually put her into Sugar's cage there, she was like just irritated.
yeah.
That was funny.
She didn't know what to think about that. That's my arm. You're gonna pull
Yeah,
the
it was
hair on
like,
my arm.
do I look like Sugar to you?
She doesn't look anything like Sugar either. She doesn't.
No,
I just
no.
wasn't paying.
The thing was she was sitting basically on Sugar's place where Sugar is waiting for being brought outside.
With that look on her face. What are you doing here? Open your eyes, would you?
So welcome, E. Schwartz. Yeah, they are sweet but demanding. That's well said.
Yeah, and if they don't get what they need, they fall apart, and they will make your world unpleasant as well. Not because they want to, it's just because they have things they need. It's like with him, if I don't play on a frisbee with him, he gets upset. Don't you? Your new frisbee should be here tomorrow. This one needs some new toys with rattle toys now too. I got to get him some more rattle toys.
Mm.
That one manufacturer was they added $6 to the price of their toys. So no, you get 3 balls for $6 more. So I found another company that they make something similar. It's the same plastic. It's but they're three different shapes, and actually they like them better, and they're at the original price I was paying from the other
Oh,
manufacturer. So they just, and then what they do is they start sending you these emails. Oh, we have a special 50% off. Yeah, after you raise the price. Yeah. That's the old trick they used to do in the grocery stores here. They'd, oh, we're selling this, at 50% less. Yeah, because you raised it last week. Now they have to hold the price for a month before they do that. But at that time they would just raise the price and then say, "Oh, we look, it's 50% more." Yeah, sure. Bob likes those toys too. That's the funny thing. I probably should get 6 of them. Bob likes them. Bob keeps them longer. He just members everything. He's like one of those horror movies, I take everything apart. Snowball, what are you doing? What's doing? That's how he says it. What's doing, Snowball? What's doing, Snowball? What's doing? Are you watching them? You are? Is that your show, the Cecil and Lorelei show? Don't walk behind me. That what are you doing? That's not smart to walk behind me. What? 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 Hi, Snowball. Hi, Cecil. Hi, Cecil. Yeah, they're pretty active. That's the thing. I mean, you can't tell it with serum cockatoos right now. All otherwise called them Moluccan. They're both taking a snooze, but it's they know that I'm busy, so it's fine. Once I get off the phone, she'll be coming over to stare at me, and she won't come over when KK's by me. She knows better. KK can tolerate them, but he's got his limits. About 2 feet is his limit. He doesn't understand the pink birds yet. Eh. Snowball, Snowball, what's up? What are you doing? What's doing, Whittlebird? Whittlebird. Frisbee. I get you to look at me. Frisbee? Where's your frisbee? He says, I got one. He's got a little thing down here. He considers that a frisbee too. He's got one of the jar lids that he started with. Well, it's not one of the original ones, but that's the size he started with.
Hmm.
It's actually a foster one of back when we were fostering a foster parent was getting him to play with those. And then I worked him up from there to the full size frisbees, but he still likes those, don't you? You're just gonna sit there with it now? Sit with the frisbee? That's it?
Sit with the frisbee, be the frisbee.
I'm just gonna sit there with it.
Hmm.
And this one's kicking, nesting, nesting.
Oh, he was such a good boy during the whole meeting or live stream. Okay, okay.
Yeah, he sure is different than when I first brought him, huh? He was just stay out of my territory, and my territory is the whole room.
Hmm. Well, it's always strange coming into a new vlog, being the newbie.
He's a good bird, though. He's a pleasure to be around. That one. Gonna get that other
Hmm.
frisbee? What are you gonna do? Snowball. He's someone else that wants more hugging too. He gets about 10 or 15 minutes of it a day, but what? Oh, I see you found some poop on that. You
Oh
need to
no.
not mess with the poop. Here, there's something else you can play with. Yeah, that thing where he flicks it away from himself. He wants you to play with him. That's really what he just loves to play. I can't play
So
with you right now.
welcome, Jocelyn Kringle, who just came in and says, "Hey ho, I'm late." Oh no,
Hey.
she fell and broke a rib. Poor Jocelyn.
Oh, oh
Hope
no.
hope you feel better soon. That doesn't sound good. I know it from other people that it must terribly hurt when a rib is broken.
Yeah, it's bad enough when they get out of place. I have one that I used to have a chiropractor who was good at putting it back in place, but now I have to do all kinds of contortions to get it back in place.
Oh.
Yeah, when you break a rib, that's no fun.
Mm-mm.
Wait, what are you doing? Are you chomping on that? Notice the way he brings it right up and sticks it in my face. That's Cecil. Just have to stick it in my face, don't you? You just do. I don't know why that is, but you do. Oh, you're just gonna give up now and ask? Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna give up and ask, are you? Hmm? You know, I can try to reposition myself here. She's I won't say she's lazy, but she wants me to do it in a certain position. She doesn't want to put her head any farther down. Hey, that's my face, Cecil. That's my face. No, no, you don't need to get the glasses. Cecil wants me to pet him too. I can't do both. I can't pet you and come here. Get down on my lap. I'll give you a couple of pets, but I gotta pet her. She just decided she couldn't wait any longer.
No, Sugar says the meeting is going now for an hour.
Yeah. She knows pretty much she's good at time. They're better at time than
Yeah.
I am.
She has probably pretty much a countdown running inside her head.
You and I was in here a little earlier trying to set things up. So she got in here earlier than when I usually do these. So she figures it's
Uh-huh.
time's up.
Yep.
Well, remember, everybody, we do have merchandise, and you can get to that through our link tree. And we have our website, which one of these days I'll either update it or find somebody else who will. I need to do some major updates on there, but it still has some interesting
Mm-hmm.
information. There's a section on the website which says resources, but what's on there is the Norwegian guide to how to care for a parrot. It's pretty darn good. And we actually had a volunteer here, is the one who translated it from Norwegian into English. So, and you
So
can become a
maybe
member
you have
on.
time for one last question from each one.
Sure.
How can you hug birds and avoid hormonal issues? Techniques.
Well, the main thing is to observe them and make sure they're not exhibiting any signs of it, but you want to pet their heads primarily. I can pat her beak and she's not going to get excited, but you have to know the bird too. You have to observe, as Dr. Friedman would say. Observation is the key to understanding, working with behavior. So don't pet the beak too much. This is an exception. There's exceptions, okay? I'll tell you one thing and you'll see me doing another. That's because there's exceptions for everything. But you just have to play by the rules until you can figure out the exceptions. Um, if you're petting them, try to keep it to 5 minutes or less. I have to keep it less than that with Lucy up there because she and Cause tend to just don't become vibrators. They just start vibrating like a spin cycle on a washing machine. So some birds can take more petting, some less. Just try to focus on petting the head. That's your best bet. Um, in extreme, when they're showing mating behavior, we can't really call it hormonal behavior because you don't know what the hormones are doing in their bodies, because you'd have to actually do blood tests for that. But you can see when they're exhibiting certain types of behavior. So if they're doing things that mating behavior, if they're trying to mate with toys, or if take that toy out, try a different toy in the cage. Another thing to do is to cut the food back so they get fed in the morning, get fed at night, as long as you're not single. If you're single, I don't recommend that because taking the food out could be disastrous. If something happens to you, you end up in the hospital and they don't have any food in their cage. So feeding them for a couple hours in the morning, a couple hours at night, and then taking the food out, that helps. Observing them and seeing what overstimulates them and then not doing that. Those are probably the best keys I can give you there. There's a lot of ins and outs. Maybe I'll write an article about that, or maybe we'll talk about that on the next one. Talk about how to avoid. Yeah, we'll make that the subject, if I don't forget, for the next video on Wednesday. How to avoid causing your bird to exhibit mating behavior.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want them either producing too many eggs or other issues
Mm-hmm.
come up, territoriality,
I
aggression.
think does Sugar agree with that topic? I think she prefers the topic how to worship the shuk bird.
Yeah, she probably does. And she knows I worship her. Yeah, you do, don't you?
So
See, if
thanks
you're doing this,
everyone
you're you're doing
who's
this to you're doing this to Lucy, you're going to end up with trouble. You try petting the
uh
beak like that. So just be careful with petting anywhere other than the head and longer than 5 minutes. You can go to our website for donations. You can join on Patreon or join on YouTube, and it's all appreciated. Thank you so much, and thank you for the super chat today. Much appreciated. I'm done.
thanks
Cecil isn't.
everyone for coming. Yeah, thanks Don for the live stream and for answering all the questions. Thanks for the chat for being such, yeah, your behavior is excellent. no ABA is needed, so I wasn't able to write so much today because I'm just on my phone. But yeah, thanks for being so nice. Hope to see you on Wednesday.
Yeah, thanks, Amy, for doing this while you're traveling. And we will